Today we're going to talk about email etiquette 101. So right now, I want you to write down what you think email etiquette is. The definition is a general set of expectations regarding how people should communicate when sending electronic mail. So this is going to be how you are supposed to communicate with people when it comes to being online. So why does this matter? What's the perk? So we have professionalism, efficiency, respect, and common sense. So let's talk about each of these. To be professional, you want to come across as someone who knows what they're talking about. That makes sense. Efficiency. You want to be clear and to the point. You don't want your emails going on forever. You want to be respectful. You're usually making requests when you email, so you want to be respectful to whoever it is you are talking to. Otherwise, you may not get what you are requesting. And of course, use common sense. Okay. We need to be kind. You don't want to send angry, nasty emails. And remember, everything you put in print, somebody has it. You can't take back what you said. So consider your audience. How might your style and tone be different when emailing? Maybe when you're emailing your boss. How is that different from a parent, your parent, a friend, or a pastor? How would all of these things be different when you're emailing? How to email a teacher. This is going to be very important this year. In your academic career, there's going to be many times you email a teacher. So when you're doing so, make these tips a priority. Now, I want you to give me a list right now of 5 things you think students do wrong when emailing their teacher. Okay, the first thing you want to do is use a professional email address. So go back to middle school, get rid of that, whatever it was, unless it's your name. You want it to be professional. You want people to know that you're not Sir Mix-a-Lot Ninja. Select a professional font. It should be easy to read. You don't want to use crazy colors. Going with black and white, usually the best bet. Be clear and direct. You need to have a subject in the subject line. We need to know what it is you are emailing about. I would put your name, your class period, and your topic. So here's our example. Molly Weller, first hour, or you could put first period, reading journal. So then we know who's writing it and what they're writing about. That's all that should be in your subject line. Your message should never be in your subject line. Then begin with a professional salutation. Don't just jump into your message. You need a greeting. Dear Miss Krause. Good morning, Dr. Upland. Good morning, Miss Empey. Whatever it is. Begin professional. Make sure you spell someone's name correctly. I get tons of emails with my name spelled incorrectly. That just shows that you care. If you spell it correctly, my name is going to be in my email, so it should be pretty easy. Avoid exclamation points. They're pretty informal. I'm working on getting better at this. We always do it just to show that, hey, actually, I'm not being too serious. I'm trying to have a good time. But don't do that. Avoid all capitals. You're not shouting. And if you are shouting, you're not being professional. Avoid sarcasm followed by winky faces. It's hard to decipher tone in emails, in text messages, things like that, because we don't know how you're saying it. If you've ever gone into an argument with a friend, you know sometimes you just took it the wrong way because you can't hear your tone. So make sure that you're not doing that. Don't email when you're angry. Okay? Take some time. Think about it. Because remember, once it's in print, it's going to stay in print. Can't take it back. Avoid blaming and excuses. Here we have a nice list here. Take responsibility and own it. Don't try to lie. Be clear and mention specifics. Today in class, when you handed my paper back, which one? Usually we hand a lot of stuff back at the same time. So be more specific about what it is you need. If you need help on this assignment, which assignment? I can't do this paper. Which paper? What is it that you're working on? Okay, be concise. What do you need? I need help. Okay, help with what? Help with number 5, help with starting your introduction. What is it you need help with? Avoid using the word you. Like, you need to help me. It's better to ask. Don't email asking for extra credit. Okay, most of the time that students do this, you have not completed everything. This is something you want to talk to your teacher about in person. Include both your first name and your last name when you sign. Thank you, sincerely, my best. Give your full name. And proofread, especially when you're sending an email to your English teacher. Include a compliment and a note of thankfulness like thank you or appreciate your time. Just makes you sound very sincere. And allow for response time. Okay, believe it or not, we're not up 24 hours a day. Okay, other things are going on. So if you email at 7 at night, you might not get answered till the next day. So never email saying ASAP. It comes off as rude. I know ASAP means as soon as possible. We will get back to you as soon as possible. You don't need to say it. Be aware of high and low registers. So a high register is when you're talking to like a boss or maybe a teacher. You could say something like, thank you so much for helping me study for the upcoming novel test. That's a high register. Low is when you're talking to your friends or family member. You're not going to be as formal. You can use exclamation points in those. So it was awesome hanging with you today, studying for that test. That is the appropriate time to use something like that. But notice how nothing is abbreviated still, because it's still an email. You still need to use email etiquette. If you have no choice but to write a long email because you're explaining something, maybe try to use bullets so nothing gets lost. Okay. If the content of the email is negative, you could start with a positive comment, like thank you for handing back our papers on time. However, I would like to discuss the grade I got. I think I worked really hard and I think it's supposed to be higher. Thank you for taking this into consideration. Can we talk about this later? That email would go off a lot better than give me a higher grade. And lastly, remember that the email reflects who you are. You're all kind, caring people. So take your time, do it correctly so that you look professional and you come off in a way that is helpful to you. Because if you're writing an email, you need something is important to you, please be professional.